Congress of Berlin of 1878. So we need to know really the importance of the Congress of Berlin. I can tell you it was a very important Congress. We are like saying the Berlin Congress was convened and chaired by Chancellor Otto von Bismarck of the German Empire in 1878 and was held at Berlin in Germany. The Congress of Berlin was attended by Benjamin Disraeli of Britain, Count Andrassy of Austro-Hungary, Gorchakov of Russia, and the host Bismarck. Italy, France, Turkey, and Balkan nations, Romania, Serbia, Greece, and Montenegro also sent representatives. It aimed at diplomatically settling the Eastern question, reducing Russian power, preventing European war, and maintaining peace in Europe. So we need to understand the importance of the Congress of Berlin. Number one, the Congress of Berlin reduced the size of Big Bulgaria, created by the Russo-Turkish Treaty of San Stefano, March 1878. We are like saying the Congress of Berlin reduced the size of Big Bulgaria. I can tell you the Russo-Turkish Treaty created the Big Bulgaria. And this was bringing conflicts out together where countries were rising up against Russia because they didn't want Russia to have great influence. Great what? Influence. So by this time, Bismarck reduced the size of Big what? Bulgaria. Changes rising up. Another one, the Congress of Berlin distributed territories among the great powers. Britain received Cyprus. Austro-Hungary was allowed to administer Bosnia as a governor, and Russia retained Bessarabia and some Turkish territories such as Kars. So by this, we are like saying the Congress distributed territories among the great powers. What was bringing problems in the Eastern question? Because the great powers were conflicting over influence and dominance. So Bismarck called this Congress and he distributed territories among the great what? Powers. This was intended to solve the problems in the Eastern question. Another one, it prevented the sudden collapse of the Ottoman Empire, which could have caused more political problems in Europe. We believe it was the Congress of Berlin that at least prevented sudden collapse of the Ottoman Empire. The Ottoman Empire was going to collapse because the big states were conflicting over supremacy in the Ottoman Empire. So when Bismarck called the Congress of Berlin, this prevented sudden collapse of the Ottoman Empire. Because Bismarck distributed territories among the great what? Powers. And of course, this reduced the influence of a country called Russia. Then, the Congress of Berlin enforced the principle of nationality and granted complete independence to Serbia, Montenegro, Romania, and Bulgaria, which reduced national unrest in the Balkans. We believe by this time, in the Balkans, in Serbia, people were conflicting. In Montenegro, people were what? Conflicting. So by this time, it was the Congress of Berlin in this kind of arrangement that enforced the principle of nationality by granting independence to Serbia, Montenegro, Bulgaria, and this created some peace in the Ottoman what? Empire. Then it proved Otto von Bismarck as the distinguished honest bloc of peace in Europe. What's all about this? Bismarck was seen as a honesty broker, where we believe by this time that Otto von Bismarck solved the problems peacefully without fighting. So we are honoring Otto von Bismarck. So the Congress of Berlin was very important because Bismarck was able to promote what we call what? Peace. Another one, the Congress at Berlin checked Russian imperialism and expansion into the Balkans. Russia's imperialism, this is where a country extends its influence beyond its boundaries. Mind you, Russia wanted to influence affairs in the Ottoman Empire. It was the Congress of Berlin that reduced Russia's imperialism. Russia's imperialism had to be checked because some countries where Russia had influence were given their what? Independence. Another one, it handed the sub-inhabited Bosnia as a governor to Austro-Hungary, and this temporarily reduced the threat of sub-nationalism to destroy the empire of Austro-Hungary. We believe by this time it handed the sub-inhabited Bosnia as a governor to Austro-Hungary. Of course, this at least temporarily reduced the threat of sub-nationalism. What's all about this? Because all of people had to respect what was decided in the Congress of Berlin. Another one, it maintained peace, security, and stability in Europe by eliminating the possibility of a major war involving the great powers, and so peace prevailed up to the early 1914. We believe by this time, I can say, it maintained peace, security, and stability in Europe by eliminating possibility of a major war involving great powers. I can tell you, the great powers were fighting for supremacy. So since they were fighting for supremacy, and Bismarck called the Congress of Berlin to solve problems, we are honoring a man called Otto von Bismarck, a honesty broker, a man who wanted to promote peace. By the way, Bismarck has said, diplomacy without force is like music without instruments. In other words, for him, he argued that at one time you need to use diplomacy, at another time you need to use force. That's why you remember he said, the great questions of the day shall not be decided by speeches and resolutions of the majority, but by blood and iron. So a man believed in the blood and iron